Okay, shalawam. First off, I want to say all praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of GMS, to the elect doing the work in sincerity and in truth. Shalawam. This is Nazar Chud, GMS Precepts. And I want to go into this scripture right here in Jeremiah 31 when it speaks about the laws in our inward parts. But I want to focus on this word here, ordinance, right? Well, I'm going to just go into this whole section right here. But I'm gonna start at Jeremiah 31. I'm gonna go to I might as well go to 31. I'm gonna start at 31 and 31. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel, and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord." Right now, what covenant is this speaking about? It's speaking about the covenant that was that was first oral, and then it was made written. It was written down, right? All 613 laws, right? The oral or the written law, right? The law, statute, commandments given to the nation of Israel. And the key is, it says, according to their fathers, in the day that I took them out of the land of Egypt, which is the Israelites, right? Which covenant they break, although I was a husband to them, right? Verse 33, it says, "But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their inward parts, and I will write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people," right? Which is basically saying that the law, statute, commandments that were oral and then written, that is the new covenant, which is the old covenant. The new covenant is the laws being in our inward parts, right? It's going to be in our minds, right? It's going to be instinctual, right? It's going to be a point where it's instinctual. We're not going to have to study. We're not going to have to study the law anymore. We're not going to have to check with a brother. Yo, is it today the Sabbath or tomorrow, right? We're not going to have to do that anymore. We're going to know the law. Perfect. Right? That's how we're going to be made perfect in the kingdom. The law is going to be in our inward parts, and we're not, because it says the wages of sin is death, right? If we don't sin anymore, death will not overtake us anymore, right? So this is how we're going to be perfect, right? It reads on, it says, "And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more." Right? Meaning what? We're not going to have to go on the highways and byways and teach our people the law, statute, commandments again. We're not going to have to teach our people to come back into their heritage. Right? We're not going to have to say, yo, walk out there with the 12 tribe sign and be like, look, you so-called Negroes that teach Native Americans, you are Israelites, right? We're all going to have those laws, statute, commandments in our inward parts. We're not going to have to teach anymore. If anything, we're going to have to teach the other nations our ways, because they're going to worship the Most High. Okay? But as far as teaching other Israelites, which is our true neighbor, we're not going to have to do that anymore, right? And here's getting to the point here. It's verse 35. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves are of roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever," right? So I want to go into the word ordinances, right? Now it speaks about the ordinances. If those ordinances depart from me, which ordinance is speaking about? The ordinance of the moon and the stars to be a light, the moon and the stars, the sun, the sea, right? It says, "If those ordinances depart from me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel shall cease from being a nation before me forever, right? So it's giving it's giving the other nations, right? Primarily right now is Esau because they're ruling. It's giving Esau a way to the only way for the nation of Israel to not be a part of the Most High, right? But it's a way that the Most High is being, if you want to say, facetious, because that can never happen. These ordinances can never depart from the Most High. Now I read on. That's why he says, if those ordinances depart from me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel shall cease from being a nation. So you know what? Before I go to the next verse, let me go into the word ordinance. This is etymology.com, etymology dictionary, and it reads, ordinance, an authoritative direction, decree, or command, right? An authoritative direction, decree, or command, right? Now, the authority in this statement is the Most High, right? The author, the author, or the authority that governs the direction, decree, and command in this context in Jeremiah is the Most High. He's the one that creates the ordinances, which, like I said, hold on, let me go back to the word, which is a decree, direction, or command. So it's basically a law, right? It says, now the ordinances it's speaking about is the ordinance of the sun, the moon, the stars, right? If those ordinances depart from me, meaning if let's say the sun doesn't come up one day, if you can figure out how, because the sun comes up every day, right? The moon comes up every day. The stars are there every day, right? If you can find a way to depart those ordinances from the Most High, there's not one day that the sun does not come up, okay? If you can find a way to disrupt or make those ordinances depart or make them cease, then you can have Israel, okay? That's what the Most High is saying. He's saying, then I'm not going to be their power anymore. And they're going to cease from being a nation before me forever. All right, but let's read on. It says, verse 37, it says, thus saith the Lord power, if heaven above, and now he goes into more detail now. He says, thus saith the Lord, right? Now you know it's the Most High because it's on capital. It says, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord. Okay? So it's helping you out, Esau. If you can figure all this out, then you can have them. Then I will cease from being a power to the nation of Israel. But he's giving them a trick bag. These things cannot be measured. We already know that to measure the foundation of the earth can be searched out, right? They can't even go, but so I believe it's 1,000 feet in the ocean before you're physically crushed by the pressure of the deep sea, right? And that's just talking about a physical person's, you know. And as far as a object going down in there, even if an object can only go down for so long either, or for so far either before it gets crushed by the pressure created going in the deep sea. And that's just talking about the water. That's not talking about the actual crust of the earth. Okay? So all Esau can do is estimate. They can just give an estimate of how deep earth crust is or how deep the ocean is. Okay? And the same thing for space, right? They say space is still expanding. It's still getting bigger. So there's no way that you can search or measure out the heavens of space, man. And there's no way that you can stop the sun from coming up or stop the moon from shining or the stars from shining. So basically it's saying, the Most High is saying, I will never leave, or the nation of Israel will never cease to be a nation before me. They will never not be my people. Okay? Those blessings and the glory and the covenants and all that was given to the nation of Israel, and that's going to stand forever. Matter of fact, I'm going to close it out with Romans, the 9th chapter. Let me get that, because that proves it also. Okay? The nation of Israel will never cease from being a nation of the Most High, right? I'm going to just start at 1. I say the truth in Yahawashi, I lie not. This is Paul speaking. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Spirit that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I wish that myself were accursed from Yahawashi, from my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. Right? So he's saying basically, I wish I was in the the position that Yahawashi took to die for the nation, right? And it says kinsmen, according to the flesh, right? It says, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of the Most High and the promises. So all these things pertain unto or given unto the Israelites and the Israelites only. It says, whose are the fathers, and of whom is concerning the flesh Yahawashi came. Right? So this is why Yahawashi came. He came in the flesh for the fathers, for Israel, who is over all, the Most High, blessed forever. Amen. Or Tawab, right? So that's that, man. The Most High will never cease from being a power onto the nation of Israel. Okay? And the word ordinance basically means a direction, a decree, or command, which basically means a law. And those ordinances created the law, because there's a thing called law of gravity, right? If you jump off a building, right, there's a actual law, right, a law given to the Israelites, and there's a physical law, right? If you jump off a 20-story building, you are not going to fly, right? You are not going to float down. You are going to come crashing down on the concrete, because that's a law of gravity, right? They also have a law in space. There's zero gravity. Okay, there's physical laws in the physical world. Okay, another physical law in the physical world is a sun rising and setting. Okay, so those laws cannot depart, and that's all created and authored, or the authority of all those laws, right? Going back to the definition, the authority of all those laws is none other than the Most High, the Ancient of Days, right? All right, so Lord willing, brothers or sisters, were edified. Till the next show, shalawam.